Feeling unmotivated? In today's video, we're going to talk about a psychological approach to increasing motivation. My name is Dr. Christian Millett. I'm a licensed clinical psychologist. Many people often think, oh, I have to wait until I feel motivated before I can take action. However, oftentimes what actually happens is once we take some steps in the direction of moving, then we notice that from actually doing the thing, we feel reinforced and then the motivation grows. When people wait to move forward because they don't feel motivated, because they're waiting to feel motivated, they may go long periods without reaching their goals, which in turn can lead to self-criticism, low mood, and even feeling stuck. Feeling motivated can be unpredictable, fleeting, arriving infrequently, if at all. The field of psychology offers a strategy to address this, specifically from the area of cognitive behavioral therapy. The approach is called behavioral activation. Now, in therapy, behavioral activation typically occurs over the course of weeks, guided by a trained therapist. So that's going to be outside the scope of this video. But the core idea of action coming before motivation is something, that can be tried at home. So we're going to do an adapted, distilled exercise in this video. As said in the disclaimer, this video is not therapy or constitutes as therapy, and this is for educational purposes. First, we'll pick a goal. So this goal should be, like the one goal that you know deep inside that, if you work towards that, either your mood will feel lighter or your life would be better. Some things we could think about if you need a little guidance is, perhaps this goal will be something that would provide pleasure or has given you pleasure in the past or that you found enjoyable. A goal that will give you a sense of accomplishment if you move forward toward it, or an activity that involves other people. Some examples, let's say for an enjoyable goal or something that gave you enjoyment in the past, perhaps, engaging in a hobby, engaging in a sport or light physical activity. Let's say you typically spend most of the day, in bed watching videos on your phone. Maybe instead of being in your bed, watch the videos on the couch. Maybe eat a meal or, a snack that you really enjoy. For some examples of social activities, perhaps, if you're in a stage where you're not really interacting, engaging with people, maybe just a text to a supportive friend or family member, reaching out to text them. You could also, give them a call or meet up for coffee or tea. So, these, suggestions or examples are really based on your energy level and what you feel, is capable. We want to start small so that we can feel the sense of accomplishment. So speaking of the sense of accomplishment, let's say you're spending most of the day in bed and, you would like to take some steps outside of that, to not spend the rest of the day in bed. One thing we can do, brush our teeth, take a warm shower. Again, instead of watching videos in bed, maybe, get up and watch the videos on the couch. So, these are some examples and steps that we'll take. Once you've picked what your goal or activity will be, grab a pen and paper. So what we'll do, we'll start by taking a moment to reflect and tune into ourselves and rate our current mood, current emotion, 1 to 10. So 10 is like, this is the best feeling ever I've had in my life. And then 1 is just like awful, the worst feeling ever. So, for the sake of the example, let's say, we're feeling a 3. So put before and 3. 4, 3. So let's say I picked brushing my teeth for our example here. So we did our before mood rating. Next, we're going to do the activity. And while we're doing the activity, be mindful of any thoughts that are coming up. And then we're going to also be mindful of our mood, 1 to 10. So let's say for the example, I'm brushing my teeth now. So I'm brushing, and before I even start brushing, I think I'd rather just be in bed. I don't want to do this. What good is brushing my teeth going to do? How is that going to help? This is a pointless exercise, pointless activity. But, we'll see. So, okay, brushing my teeth. I was feeling a 3. Brushing, okay. I don't know, is this gonna work? All right. Okay. All right. Okay. I guess I'm feeling a 4 right now. So I'll write down during 4. Okay. Now afterwards, we're gonna, so now that we did the activity now. So after you do the activity, we're gonna do another mood rating. So now I'm sitting with myself and I'm noticing, okay, my mouth is feeling fresh. Okay, mouth's feeling fresh. I feel a 4. Okay. Okay. All right. So, we said before, I felt a 3. During, I noticed some thoughts I had was, this is pointless. Is this actually going to help? But I noticed, okay, out of 4. And then afterwards, I felt a 4 because I was thinking, okay, my mouth feels refreshed. So that's essentially what we want to do. So a few things there. We did a mood rating before, during, and after. While doing the activity, I was paying attention to thoughts that came up while I was doing it. And, the thoughts while you're doing it, they might not be the most encouraging. But what's most important is that we actually did the activity. So, hey, I'm going to give myself a pat on the back and say, hey, it's all about the effort. I brushed my teeth. I did something. I wasn't, in bed the whole day. I did something to take care of myself. So, good for me. And we can even see with the numbers, we started at 3 and it increased to a 4 in terms of my mood. So even though my thoughts were skeptical, my body and my mood found this increase. So that's essentially a small pared down kind of example of behavioral activation. So what I'll challenge you to do is, to pick your activity, do your mood rating before, during, after. Praise yourself for the effort. And the idea is that taking action leads to the motivation. We don't have to feel motivated to start. We just want to do. So do your task, do it today. And then I challenge you to do it each day the next week. The similar process of reflecting on your mood, reflect on any thoughts that came up during the week. Okay. I hope this is helpful. Please let me know your experience in the comments. If you like this video, please press the like button and subscribe for more.